The following lesson is designed to provide a brief overview of the specific tabs in the IAEG AD-SRT. Although there are multiple lessons that make up the overall course, it is recommended that participants take each applicable lesson in the same order they appear in the tool. Upon completion of each lesson, participants are encouraged to move to the next session in the series. This course uses text, images, audio, and video. As such, it is best viewed in full screen mode and with speakers or headphones. Should you have any questions related to the AD-SRT, we encourage you to visit www.iaeg.com to view additional resources. By the end of the Requester-Supplier tab module, participants will be able to do the following: explain the primary purpose of the Requester-Supplier tab in relation to the AD-SRT, demonstrate an understanding of each applicable field in the three subsections, correctly fill out each applicable field within the Requester-Supplier tab. The Requester-Supplier tab is used to collect material declaration data between a requester and/or a supplier. A few items to note. If the data transaction is a business-to-business transaction, then both the requester contact and supplier contact information is required to be provided. If the supplier distributes or publishes the AD-SRT data, then only supplier information is required to be provided. The requester is classified as the company requesting the material declaration. The requester should pre-populate the requester contact information on the Requester-Supplier tab prior to providing the AD-SRT to the supplier. The IPC 1754 standard has been specified to authorize flexibility for any industry to specify their data lists that include the declarable substances list for Class F and G, the query list for Class E, and the use descriptor list for any reported process, material, and substance. IAEG, for the AD industry, has defined these instances of these data lists as the AD-DSL, the AD-UDL, and the AD-QL. The AD query list is a list of queries defined by the aerospace and defense industry that any supplier must answer for, declaring their product statements to the requester along with the IPC 1754 data exchange standard. Additionally, the AD-DSL is supported by the AD-SRT tool that also includes the AD-DSL list. Fields found under the AD-DSL, the declarable substances list, and the AD-QL, or query list, will be auto-populated to match the versions already in use within the SRT. This typically includes the version, the date, the authority, and the identity. Hello, and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to navigate the Requester-Supplier tab in the IAEG Aerospace and Defense Substances Reporting tool. In addition to this demo, we encourage you to gain practical experience with the tool by downloading a copy and exploring the various tabs and fields. Let's get started. The Requester-Supplier tab is used to collect material declaration data between a requester and a supplier. The requester should pre-populate the requester contact information on the tab prior to providing the AD-SRT to the supplier. For our demo today, we'll focus on the mandatory and conditional mandatory fields. It's important to ensure this data is filled out accurately, as missing or incorrect information can render the form and subsequent request incomplete. As you'll see, we've pre-populated the information in the fields for a quick review. Here are the conditional mandatory fields in the requester contact portion of the tool: the requester company name, the requester company contact name, phone number, and email address. Additionally, the request respond by date is a mandatory field. Although the address fields are not mandatory, please note that the country field is actually a drop-down menu, and that countries listed here are provided by both country code and formal name. Additionally, if you are entering in an address that is not based in the United States, the zip code field may also be used for postal codes. Moving down to the supplier portion of the tool, we encounter our first mandatory field. The mode field requires users to select either request reply or distribute. Users should select request reply when the customer or requester has provided the SRT to the supplier and requests that the supplier completes and returns the form. They may also select distribute when the supplier distributes or publishes the declaration. Again, a reminder, this field is considered mandatory. The remaining fields are mandatory, and they include supplier company name, supplier contact name, phone number, email address, and the supplier response date. Finally, the data listed under the AD-DSL and the AD-QL include the version, the authority, and the identity. This information is auto-populated to match the AD-DSL and the AD-QL versions within the SRT. To clarify, the AD query list, or AD-QL, is a list of queries defined by the aerospace and defense industry that suppliers must answer when declaring their product statements to the requester, along with the IPC 1754 data exchange standard. We've now reached the end of this brief demo. In the next lesson, we'll discuss the Product Group tab. The IAEG AD-SRT provides organizations with an efficient way of capturing and reporting identity-supplied product and substance information. Using the tool helps organizations ensure that information is documented under a standardized template with industry-accepted terminology and coding. Data recorded in the tool can be converted for distribution as it is compliant with the IPC 1754 data exchange standard.